Have you ever seriously wondered what would happen if you just stopped sleeping? I don't mean pulling one all-nighter, I mean for days. Well, today we're going to dive into the terrifying, true story of a high school kid who actually did it, and the absolutely shocking science it uncovered about what's really going on inside your body when the lights go out.
So, let me take you back to 1964. Our story is about a 17-year-old named Randy Gardner. And for his high school science fair project, he decides to find out how long a person can stay awake. This was a seriously risky experiment that would push a human being to the absolute limit and pretty much become a legend in sleep research.
You gotta hear his thinking on this. He genuinely believed that, aside from being a little tired, no big deal. He thought he could prove that nothing really bad happens. But what actually happened over the next 264 hours was, well, it was a lot darker and way weirder than he ever could have guessed. His mind and his body were about to go to war.
And the breakdown was just chillingly methodical. It wasn't like a sudden snap. I mean, look at this timeline. By just day 2, he couldn't even focus his eyes properly. By day 4, his reality starts to fray, paranoia sets in. And by the end of it all, he was practically a zombie, his brain just shutting down piece by piece.
This is where it gets really bizarre. The hallucinations were incredibly real to him. It's like his brain was so desperate for the dreams it was missing, it just started dreaming while he was awake. Can you imagine looking at a street sign and being absolutely convinced it's a person? His world was totally unraveling.
And this right here shows you the total cognitive collapse. A task that's simple for most of us. Just subtracting 7 over and over, it became impossible. His brain's processing power was just gone. He couldn't hold on to the thought for more than a couple of seconds before it just vanished. He was literally, and I mean literally, losing his mind.
Okay, so this is the huge question that Randy's experiment left behind. Back in '64, they could see the outside stuff, the weird behavior. But what was actually happening deep inside his body? What was going on with his cells? Well, modern science can now show us that invisible damage.
So let's talk about that internal damage. Every single night, while you're fast asleep, there's this kind of elite security force that's working hard inside you. You can think of it as your body's own silent, deadly night watch, protecting you from all sorts of invisible threats.
These amazing things are called natural killer cells, or NK cells for short. And believe me, that name is not an exaggeration. These are some of the most impressive soldiers in your entire immune system, and they are specifically designed to hunt down and just wipe out threats before they can cause real trouble.
The Secret Service analogy is perfect, really. They're not just brute force. No, they're highly specialized assassins. They're constantly patrolling your bloodstream, checking the molecular IDs of your trillions of cells, looking for any imposters or cells that have gone rogue.
And their method? It's devastatingly effective. Once they find a target, say a brand new cancer cell, they move in, punch a hole right through its outer wall, and inject a protein that basically triggers the cell to self-destruct. This happens thousands of times every single night, and you never even know it.
So here's where Randy Gardner's story and modern science collide with some serious force. What do you think happens to this elite Secret Service when you skip sleep? The answer is genuinely shocking. A researcher named Matthew Walker, he decided to find out exactly that. He measured the activity of these natural killer cells in 2 groups of people, one that was well-rested and another that had just 1 night of limited sleep. And what he discovered is just staggering.
The results were just wow. After only 1 single night of sleeping just 4 to 5 hours, there was a 70% drop in the activity of these critical cancer-fighting immune cells. Let that sink in for a second. 70%. Your internal Secret Service is basically put on furlough.
This chart really says it all. I mean, just look at that drop. That's not a gentle slope, it's a cliff. Your body's ability to fight off things like cancer is catastrophically weakened after just 1 bad night. Now just try to imagine what was going on inside Randy Gardner after 11 of those nights.
The link here is so undeniable that the World Health Organization has done something pretty extraordinary. They've officially classified any kind of nighttime shift work as a probable carcinogen. That puts it in a similar risk category to other things we know can cause cancer.
And these are not just, theoretical risks. Studies have already shown strong connections between a chronic lack of sleep and a higher risk for several cancers, including these 3 really big ones. The evidence is just overwhelming.
So okay, beyond the long-term cancer risk, the immediate danger to your brain
is just as bad. In fact, not getting enough sleep can make you as dangerous as someone who's been drinking.
So which one of these people is more impaired? Well, it's a trick question. The answer is they both are. After you've been awake for about 19 hours, your mental performance is so shot that you are, for all intents and purposes, operating at the same level as someone who is legally drunk. You have no business being behind the wheel of a car.
All right, so we've covered your immune system and your brain function. Let's move into our final section and talk about the single most powerful thing that you can do for your health.
And it isn't just your brain or your immune system. Your heart takes a massive hit too. If you regularly sleep 6 hours or less a night, your risk of having a fatal heart attack or stroke at some point in your life goes up by 200%. You literally triple your risk.
So, let's just recap the risks. A demolished immune system, being cognitively impaired to the point of being drunk, and a massively increased risk of a fatal heart attack. With all of that on the table, what is the single most effective thing you can do to protect yourself?
The answer is just sleep. It's not some fancy new supplement or a ridiculously expensive gym membership. The most powerful health elixir on planet Earth is simply a full night of sleep. It is your body's built-in, non-negotiable repair cycle that cleanses, restores, and defends you.
And really, this is what we want to leave you with. Our culture so often celebrates sacrificing sleep for work, for productivity, but the science tells us we have it completely backwards. A lack of sleep isn't a badge of honor, it's a biological crisis. So the real question isn't whether you can afford the time to sleep, but whether you can truly afford the consequences of not doing it.